Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Shop Plays YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday, December 31st, and I'm back for some college basketball picks. Didn't break anything down yesterday, didn't love anything. We've got two pretty good games today that I think we can make some money off of. We're going to look at Marquette going up against Providence, Arizona State going up against BYU, have a couple player props as well. Do want to say I'm not going to be breaking down anything for New Year's Day, but before we get into the plays for the 31st, I will recap a little bit what happened a couple days ago. We had Ole Miss on the road going up against Memphis outright. Memphis, they played well. What can I say? They played well. Ole Miss takes the loss outright. After that, we had Gonzaga minus 4.5 going up against UCLA. I'm pretty sure UCLA won that game outright. If not, Gonzaga barely, won the game. They didn't cover the 4.5 according to my FanDuel app. But it was a couple days ago. I think UCLA might have just won that game outright. They played very well. Defensive battle the entire way through. Gonzaga they failed to score any points. Hickman over 10.5 points. I don't know what was wrong with him. He didn't play a lot of the game. I think he only played 25 minutes, only made 2 threes, did not go over 10.5. And then the final play was Jaden Murray for Ole Miss. He missed it by a hook, scored 12 points, needed 13. And he had 12 points, decently early in the second half. He just couldn't make another shot. So the rare 0-4 day, they say it's just as hard to go 0-4 and 4-0. Joke kind of hurts, but we got to bounce back. We can bounce back in a big way. Still one game above 500. College basketball season, it's so tough early. We've already had like 15 games go by for some of these teams, but it's just impossible to try to keep up with everything. College football, NFL, NBA, everything's going on at the same time. I wish college basketball would just not start until like January. That would be amazing. I know they have March Madness, and March Madness is the best playoff scenario in any sport. I just wish college basketball was in January. I wish I could watch more of it, but it's just impossible to keep up with some of these sports. But I'm going to try to do my best here. We're going to be looking at one game only to start. We're going to be looking at Arizona State going up against BYU. Have watched both these teams this season. Watched Arizona State going up against Florida and Gonzaga. They lost both of those games, both of their tests this season, if you will. Do have a pretty good win going up against St. Mary's, beating them 68-64 in a low-scoring game. I just haven't been too impressed with Arizona State this season. They don't get a ton of rebounds per game. Sitting with 37, that's kind of in the middle of the pack. They're not a horrible rebounding team, but they're definitely not one of the best rebounding teams. They've got some scoring in this team, 4 players scoring above double-digit points, 78.5 points per game. I just haven't been impressed. They're going to have to travel here going to BYU. BYU is a very physical team who can make three-point shots. BYU scoring 85.5 points per game, and BYU has been tested a couple times this season as well. They kind of failed both those tests as well. Ole Miss, whenever they ranked 13th in the country, they lost that game in overtime. Tough loss for them. They also went to the dunk at Providence, losing that game by 20 points. That was the game that Igor Demon got hurt, I believe. He shot 0 of 10 from the field, and this should be his first game back going up against Arizona State. This is the start of the conference play as well for the Big 12. I'm going to take BYU. They're -9 right now against the spread. I do think they're going to cover that spread regardless of what the score says right there. I'm going to take BYU -9 there. They're a more physical team. They're a very good rebounding team. They like to play down low with the big boys. We're going to see 3 guys for BYU in this game, 6'8" or above. They are rebounding machines. Also, again, their best player coming back from injury, Igor Demon. He's scoring the most points per game for BYU this season, a team who's already scoring 85.6 per game. So I think they will play better in this game, getting him back. They've been treading water without him, but I think with him back, the scoring is going to jump up drastically in this game. 37% from the three-point line this season as a team. I think that's going to be elevated as well in this game with them being at home. I think BYU is just the overall better team. So I'll take them against the spread, -9 as the play. For the next play, we're going to switch this one. What I do with these graphics is I make them before I do the research, because I usually like to go with my gut, and then after research, if I look at it and I don't like it, I will switch it. That's one of these situations right now. I'm going to switch it. I'm going to take Providence +6.5 as the play. Marquette's a fantastic team. They are top 10 in the country. They have 2 losses this season, at Iowa State and at Dayton. They have 1 good win, I guess I should say 2 good wins, on the road this year. At Xavier, but Xavier doesn't have their best player. They only won that game by 2 points. And at Maryland, they only won that game by 4 points. So this is a 6.5 cover. On the road this season, they have not won a game more than 6 points. So let's take that into mind. For Providence this year, they have lost 6 of the last 8 games. But this team at home has only lost 1 game. And it was to St. John's in their last game. by 2 points without Bryce Hopkins. This is a very, very dangerous Providence team in the dunk. I'm going to give home court advantage the advantage in this game. I think Providence makes this a very close game, even without Hopkins, who maybe will play, maybe won't play. He's been dealing with a knee injury towards ACL last year, came back for 2 or 3 games, aggravated a little bit. He's had some knee swelling, knee pain. He is questionable to play in this game. If he plays, Providence can probably win this game outright. He's scoring 17 points per game, nearly 8 rebounds per game. He's the best player on this team by a wide margin. If he doesn't play, which I think the line is indicating he's not playing with it being plus 6.5, I still think Providence can give their this Marquette team a run for their money, because they did play a very good St. John's team a couple weeks ago at home. Their last game was December 20th. They only lost that game by 2 points, put up 70. That's a very good St. John's squad. I'm going to give Providence some respect. I will take the home dog plus 6.5 as the play. Let's go to the player props for the first player prop of the day. We're going to be looking at BYU going up against Arizona State. I'm going to go back to the best player for BYU, Igor Demon, over his total points going up against Arizona State. This guy has been injured for multiple games in a row. His last game was against Providence on December 3rd. He had, I believe it was a knee or an ankle injury, but he is back now. In that game against Providence, he shot 10 times, scored 6 points, did not make a shot from the field, so he is bound to do better in this game. He has been sitting for nearly a month, but it said on the injury report with Big 12 play starting, he is most likely going to play in this game, so that is very good news for him. I think he will come out in this game and be shooting the ball. He's been the leading scorer for BYU this season. He loves to take the three-point shots. I think he will take a lot of three-point shots in this game. It's probably going to be sitting at 12.5, maybe 13.5 points. Might even get it lower because he's coming off the injury. Arizona State this season, they have not been a very good defense. 71.4 points per game. That is 144th in the country. Not that good of a defense. You've got to be at least top 100. Actually, you technically have to be top 50 if you want any shot at the March Madness tournament. But Arizona State, defensively, they haven't been getting it done. I think Igor comes back from the injury, has a big day. Going to take his over total points, probably going to be 12.5 as the play there. And for the last play, going to go back to Marquette going up against Providence. The one bad thing about Providence this season is that they haven't been great at shooting the ball. Now, they've been very good at rebounding, but they haven't been very good at shooting. And I think that's going to be a big thing in this game for Marquette. If they can establish the glass, they most likely win this game by 6.5. I am going to take David Joplin to go over his total rebounds as the play. David Joplin on the season has been the leading rebounder for Marquette with 5.4 rebounds per game. 5.4 rebounds per game is your leading rebounder on the season. That is unacceptable. Rebounding is about effort, and Marquette's a very good team. They make a lot of their shots, but defensively, they've got to get some more rebounds. They've actually got to get some more stops. Marquette's a pretty good defensive team anyway, but they give up a lot of offensive rebounds. Again, that's why Providence might be able to hang around this game against Marquette. Marquette only 33.9 rebounds per game. Providence, not a very good shooting team, though. I think Joplin will be cleaning up the glass in this game, especially if Bryce is out. Joplin's sitting at 6'9". He's 230 pounds. He can bang around with the bigs a little bit. I do think in this game, he's going to be relied on to crash the glass a little bit more. Last game, he had a very big scoring outburst, 19 points, only 5 rebounds going up against Xavier. They won that game by 2 points. He's got to get more active on the glass. Last 2 games, though, 6 rebounds, 5 rebounds. He's trending in the right direction. Going to take his over total rebounds as the play. Might get it at 4.5. Most likely going to play this at 5.5 as the play there. Let's go to the recap graphic. We're going to be taking not Marquette, Providence. They're plus 6.5 right now. I hope Bryce plays, but even if he does, I'm going to take Providence here, plus 6.5. Going to trust the dunk there. BYU against the spread going to be -9 going up against Arizona State. David Joplin over his total rebounds, probably 4.5, 5.5, somewhere around there as the rebounds. And then Igor Demon over his total points, looking to get it at 12.5 as the final play of the day. Guys, that's going to do it for the NCAA basketball plays and props for Tuesday, December 31st slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please share, drop a like on this video, and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.